Do you ever find yourself in a relationship that just doesn't make sense? Like, one day you're convinced you've met your soulmate, and the next you're just drowning in pain and confusion. It's a really tough place to be. Today, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of why that happens, specifically in the world of narcissistic abuse. We're going to talk about what it is, and, more importantly, how you can start to break free.
And this quote from trauma coach Tina Woods, wow, it just hit so hard, right? I thought I had made it, and I was very, very unwell, actually. Think about that. From the outside, it looks like you've got it all figured out. The career, the relationship, the whole package. But on the inside, it's a totally different story. We're talking burnout, addiction, just this deep, lingering trauma. And that gap, between how things look and how they feel, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
All right, so let's talk about this unseen trap. What is this invisible glue that holds people in relationships that are just so damaging? I'll give you a hint. It's not love. Not even close. It's something much trickier, much more sinister.
This is the core of it right here, the trauma bond. And let's be super clear, because Tina Woods nails this. This is not just some intense connection. She calls it a serious addiction. It's a trap, plain and simple, one that gets you spiritually, physically, and psychologically. It's built on this crazy cycle of good times and bad times, those extreme highs and lows. That roller coaster hijacks your brain and makes you feel like you need the very person who's hurting you. It's so often mistaken for love, but it's really an addiction.
And this is what makes it so confusing. Look at this comparison. On one hand, it feels like an unbreakable soulmate connection. It feels like this passionate, all-consuming love. But what's really going on? It's an addiction. A powerful, destructive addiction to a cycle of abuse. That feeling of love isn't real. It's part of a very strategic psychological trap designed to keep you right where you are.
Okay, so if it's a trap, how is it built? How does something so powerful get a hold on you? Well, we're going to pull back the curtain and deconstruct the whole abuse cycle. Because once you understand how the engine works, you can finally figure out how to shut it down.
Now listen up, because this is probably one of the most important things you need to get. The manipulation, the abuse, it doesn't start later on. It's not something that just creeps in after a while. Nope. It starts from the very first hello. That whole amazing love bombing phase, that's not love. That's reconnaissance. That's the abuser studying you, finding your deepest wounds and your biggest dreams so they can become the perfect person to heal them. It's strategy, right from the jump.
And here's what that cycle actually looks like. Step 1, the love bomb. This is the bait. They shower you with attention, they mirror you perfectly, they become your absolute dream come true. You're hooked. Step 2, devaluation. Suddenly, that pedestal they put you on, it gets kicked out from under you. Now it's criticism, gaslighting, blame. You start questioning your own sanity. And then step 3, the discard. They cast you aside like you're nothing. And that pain is so intense, all you want is to get back to the good times, back to the love bomb. And bam, the cycle starts all over again. That's the addiction in action.
I love this quote from Lorraine Marshall because it's just such a perfect picture of what it feels like. He loves me not. It's like you're a little kid plucking petals off a daisy over and over again. You get a little bit of love bomb, a little bit of devaluation, a good day, a bad day. And you can get stuck in that loop for years, always hoping, just desperately hoping that the next petal you pull is going to be, he loves me.
Okay, that was heavy, I know. But understanding the trap is half the battle. Now for the most important part. How do you actually break free? Let's get into the practical, actionable stuff you can do to start breaking that bond.
So Tina Woods lays out these 4 really powerful steps. First up, radical honesty. This means no more excuses, not for them and not for yourself. You have to face the cold, hard truth of what's happening. Second, journal the bad times. Seriously, write it all down. Why? Because your brain will try to trick you into only remembering the good stuff. This journal is your reality check. Third, create what she calls an IT list. This is a list of all the toxic, horrible things they did. When you feel weak and want to go back, you read that list. And finally, number 4, and this is the big one, deep self-love. It's time to take them out of the center of your universe and put yourself back there.
Getting out is a huge victory, for sure, but the healing, that's a whole other journey. Think of it like this. The relationship was a hurricane. Now you have to rebuild. And you can't just fix one part of the house. You need a full 360-degree plan to heal everything that's been damaged.
Yeah, you can't just heal one part of yourself because the abuse didn't just affect one part of you. It got into everything. So your healing has to touch everything too.
We're talking about a 360-degree approach that addresses your mind, your body, and your soul. All three need attention.
So let's start with your mind. The absolute first step is to stop trying to figure them out. You have to unplug from that obsessive loop of why did they do that? Tina Wood says it best. Your logical brain will never understand their disordered thinking. It's a waste of your precious energy. So learn what you need to learn about the dynamic, and then, and this is key, you pivot. You focus forward. Use affirmations, take a new class, listen to podcasts that build you up. It's all about rewiring your brain for your future, not their past.
Next up, the body. You know that constant feeling of being on edge, that anxiety? That's trauma stored in your nervous system. So a huge part of healing is teaching your body that it's safe now. This isn't about hitting the gym like crazy, it's about gentle movement. Think yoga, stretching, even just a walk outside to get grounded. It's also about eating food that makes you feel good, drinking water, and, so important, connecting with friends who feel safe. You have to fight that urge to isolate and instead surround yourself with good, safe energy.
And finally, we have to talk about healing the soul. This kind of experience can really dim your inner light, you know? It can make you disconnect from yourself. So this part is all about getting that spark back. It can be as simple as walking in nature, meditating for 5 minutes, or just journaling out all the messy feelings. For some people, it's about leaning into their faith or trying things like cord-cutting rituals to really, truly, energetically let go of that person for good.
Look, understanding this whole cycle, this whole trap, is so incredibly empowering. Why? Because it shows you that what happened wasn't your fault, it wasn't some personal failing, it was a manipulative pattern that you got caught in. Seeing that pattern is the key that unlocks the cage. The question now is, what do you do with that key? So I'll just leave you with this thought. Now that you can see it all laid out, what is the very first, even tiniest step you're going to take to start reclaiming your own story?